Did you know there could be additives in your tequila? Today we're going to tackle the topic of additives in tequila right here on the Tequila Hombre. Coming up next. Hello, welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we're going to tackle the ever so sneaky topic of additives in your tequila. You may be drinking tequila that has additives in it and not even know. So in this episode, I'm going to kind of go over what additives are, why they use them, what companies may be using them, and how to tell. And by the end of the episode, you should have a pretty good understanding of additives and a good way to determine whether the tequila you're drinking has additives in it or not. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so first let's tackle the whats of additives in your tequila. What are additives? Well, additives are things that are added to the tequila to try to enhance the flavor and your experience with the tequila. So what they typically use, there's four main categories of additives that they'll use in enhancing the flavor of your tequila. Number one is sugar-based syrups. Now these can contain sweeteners such as cane sugar, corn syrup, sucralose, which Splenda, as well as like agave nectar as well. And they will create a syrup, and in these syrups they can also add other flavorings in with it as well. So you can have vanilla in there, you can have caramel in there, and other fruit flavorings to try to enhance the flavor profile of the tequila. The second category is glycerin that can be used, and glycerin is primarily vegetable-based glycerin. And vegetable glycerin, I've got some right here. You can see it's kind of a gelatinous liquid a little bit, and what they use this for is to increase the mouthfeel of the tequila and give it a mouthfeel. Now, vegetable glycerin in itself is also sweet, so it can actually tackle two birds with one stone by adding this in the tequila, by not only making the tequila sweeter, but also giving it that silky mouthfeel that we enjoy so much in a well-produced tequila. The third category is oak extract, and oak extract is used to make a tequila seem more aged than it actually is. Now, it will still have to be within the aging category to be an añejo, so they can't like say, oh, well, this is an extra añejo when it's only aged to the añejo terms, because the CRT still watches their aging, and they do the things where they put a label on the barrel, and the label can't be removed until you empty the barrel. They have to be there present to do it. They log it. So that will it'll still be, if it's an añejo, it'll still actually be an añejo, but they may add more oak extract to it just to give it the sense that it's been aged longer than it really has. And the last is caramel color. Now, you know, if for some reason they didn't draw a lot of color out of the barrel, they can add caramel color to it to make it look more visually appealing to you when you're taking a look at the tequila in your glass before you taste it. So those are the four main categories of additives that can be added into the tequila. Now, it has to be an aged tequila. According to the normas, their blancos cannot have additives in it, but there are some loopholes in there where there are some producers that do add additives to blanco. So just because it's in the norma doesn't mean that every blanco is safe. There are some producers that have found this loophole, and so you will have some blancos with additives in it. All right, so number two is the how. How can they do this? How can they add additives into tequila? Well, according to the norma, and I've expressed this earlier, according to the norma, a producer can put up to 1% of the total volume of the batch of additives into the tequila without telling you that there's additives in it. They can do it secretly. And when asked, hey, do you put additives in your tequila? Most of the time, they'll flat out deny it. You may be lucky to find one or two that go, yeah, you know, we do it, so what? Most of the time, they'll flat out deny it and lie to you when you can tell that there's additives in the tequila. But because of these regulations in the NORMA, it is allowed, and producers do it. And typically the additives are added after it's done aging, before they're ready to bottle. They find a flavor profile that they think that people will be appealing to people, that would make people want to buy it, but you're really not getting true natural flavors that should be present in the tequila. And they typically do this, and we'll explain why in the why section of the video next. All right, so let's talk about the why. Why do producers put additives in their tequila? Well, the number one reason why is because the tequila did not come out tasting very good. So they have to improve the flavor. So they'll add additives to it to make it taste better and create something that they think would be more appealing for people to want to buy it. A lot of times they think Americans want sweeter tequila. There's people that enjoy sweet tequila and will pay more for it. So they'll add additives to make it taste better, to make it seem more premium, to make you pay more for it, and to want to buy it. So that's why. It's because the product that they created didn't have those wonderful natural flavors that come from a well-produced tequila. So they have to add these additives into it to make it taste better so they could sell it. So it's kind of deceitful. So next, let's talk about how you can tell whether there's additives in your tequila or not. So I get people all the time that message me and say, hey, Tequila Hombre, do you think there's additives in this tequila or not? Well, here's the way you can tell. When additives are put into tequila, it becomes the prominent flavor of the tequila. It masks all the other flavors. It's in your face. So if you taste the tequila and it's super sweet, in your face sweet, it's got additives in it. Now, there are naturally sweet tequilas out there, and there's some people that mix them up and say, oh, there's additives in it, when, especially if you're using like a French oak. French oak is naturally sweet and will create a sweeter flavor profile, but you'll be able to taste like the bitterness of the oak and as well as a bunch of other nuances in there, and that's the way you know that it was actually wood aged versus just being flat on sweet. Okay, so if it tastes like vanilla, it smells like a vanilla bomb, like all you get is mostly vanilla from it, it's got additives in it. If it smells like cake batter, it's got additives in it. If it smells like cotton candy or fake fruit, it's got additives in it. So some of the things, those are some of the things you can look for when evaluating a tequila to actually know whether it's got additives in it or not. All right, so some brands that we know of that use additives, they won't come out and say it, but you can definitely taste it in their tequila. Clase Azul, premium price tag, beautiful bottle, additives in their tequila. Definitely sweet and caramelly, not naturally tasting at all. I know this one's going to upset some people, but Don Julio 1942. Can you taste the vanilla? Yeah, it's sweet and vanilla. That's not a natural flavoring you get from well-made natural tequila. Adictivo, sweet and syrupy. Definitely has additives in it. Cava de Oro, tastes great as pancake syrup. It's so syrupy and sweet. It is not a well-made tequila. It has additives in it. Casamigos is also adulterated. It's got additives in it to enhance its flavor. You can taste the caramel and the vanilla and the sweetness in that. It's not natural sweetness. It even has kind of a chemically aftertaste. And that's something too that will give it away. If it's got a little chemically aftertaste to it, it's from the additives. So you probably wonder, well, why are you doing this type of video? You just want me to get angry that I pay a lot of money for 1942 and find out it's got additives in it? No, it's because I want you to understand what natural tasting tequila tastes like. Natural tasting tequila tastes wonderful. It doesn't need additives to make it better if it's a well-made tequila and they use the right processes and the right ingredients. It's got a beautiful flavor profile to it. It doesn't need to be sweetened. And once you discover that and try it, just like I did, I started out drinking tequila with additives in it. But once you discover what a really well-made tequila has to offer with all the different nuances in the flavor profile, you'll really begin to love what tequila is all about. Well, if you think you found a tequila with additives in it, I'd love to hear your comments below. Let me know which ones you think might have additives in it. And if I know about them, I'll respond. And even if I don't, I'll still respond and I can find out for you. I can do a review on it and sample it and tell you if I think it's got additives in it. If you like the information I shared, please click that like button. And if you like these type of videos, make sure you click the subscribe there and click the little bell right below, ding, 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 and you'll be notified anytime I post a new video. I've got some great reviews coming up, and also we've got a giveaway that's going to happen again soon, so make sure you click that subscribe button there. Get subscribed because you can't win our giveaways unless you're subscribed. And until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila, so drink it without any additives. Salud.